Hello folks, it's Natasha N.K.O, 19th of June 2026, it's 03:51, practically the witching hour. I'm going to continue reading on from Sam Selvon's The Lonely Londoners. Left off where Moses, the old hat in London from Trinidad, has gone to meet someone called Galahad at Waterloo Station, someone he's been sent to meet to show the ropes. So he's taking him back to his little flat or bedsit, it sounds like, and he's given him the chair to sleep on for the night. Galahad is the one wearing a summer suit in winter in London, and he's sleeping on the couch without a blanket. And we last left off with Moses wakes up early, sorts himself out, and finds that Galahad's still fast asleep. I'm just getting used to my new glasses. So I'll reread the last line. What did I leave off? Yeah, so it goes, I think you best had to see a doctor tomorrow, first thing, Moses say. Something must be wrong with you. But Galahad was snoring already. The next morning, Moses get up about 9:30 and wash face and scrub teeth and comb hair, and still Galahad was sleeping with a smile on his face. Moses shake him rough. Get up, man, he say. It's time to go and look for work. It's not a holiday camp. Galahad yawn and stretch. What you bending down so near the fire for and shivering like that? Moses glare. All right, he say. Don't overplay it, so you don't feel cold. So all right, take it easy. I never thought my first morning in London would be like this, Galahad say as he combed his hair. What you thought? That you would wake up in the Savoy? You have a kind of fellow who does never like people to think that they are unaccustomed to anything, or that they are strangers in a place, or that they don't know where they are going. They will never ask you how to get to Linden Gardens, or if number 49 does go down High Street, Ken. From the very beginning, they out to give you the impression that they help, that they on the ball, that nobody could tie them up. Sir Galahad was a fellow like that, and he was trying hard to give Moses the feeling that everything all right, that he could take care of himself, that he don't want help for anything. So that same morning, when they finished eating, Moses told him that he will go with him to help him find a work. But Galahad say, don't worry, man, I will make up for myself. You don't know this place, boy, Moses say. Work not so easy to get as you think. Don't worry with the old man, Galahad say. He will take care of things. Well, Moses say, I must say you have guts, and perhaps you're doing the best thing, for you can't learn no better way than by going around on your own. I could save you some trouble by telling you where to go and where not to go, but I won't bother. But take a little advice, old man, go and see about a work first, because supposing you get one far from the water, it would make no sense to take this room. You have to try and get one near the work. Galahad know that Moses talking good talk, but he don't want him to feel that he want any help from him. When he was leaving Trinidad, and Frank told him a friend would meet him at Waterloo, Galahad say, why the hell you bother with that for? But Frank tell him all well and good to play boldface in a small place like Trinidad, but when he landed in London it would be different, and he would be sure to need a friend there. While Galahad sit there not saying anything, Moses went on, listen, I know fellas like you know. You try to fool people that you know everything. Then when you get lash, you come bawling. All right, Mr. London, Galahad say. You've been here for a long time. What would you advise me as a newcomer to do? I would advise you to hustle a passage back home to Trinidad today. I just noticed I was reading. You just realised I had my driving instead of my reading glasses. That's better. All right, Mr. London, Galahad say. You've been here for a long time. What would you advise me as a newcomer to do? I would advise you to hustle a passage back home to Trinidad today, Moses say, but I know you would never want to do that. So what I will tell you is this. Take it easy. It had a time when I was first here, when they only had a few West Indians in London, and things used to go good enough. These days, spades all over the place, and every shipload is big news, and the English people don't like the boys coming to England to work and live. Why is that? Galahad asked. Well, as far as I could figure, they're fighting that we get a job in front of them, though that does never happen. The other thing is that they just don't like black people, and don't ask me why, because that is a question that bigger brains than mine trying to find out from way back. Things as bad over here as in America? Galahad asked. That is a point the boys always debating, Moses say. Some say yes and some say no. The thing is, in America they don't like you and they tell you so straight so that you know how you stand. Over here is the old English diplomacy. Thank you, sir, and how do you do, and that sort of thing. In America, you see a sign telling you to keep off, but over here you don't see any. But when you go in the hotel or the restaurant, they will politely tell you to haul or else give you the cold treatment. I know fellas like you, Galahad said in turn. You all live in a place for some time and think you know all about it. And when any green fellas turn up, you try to frighten them. If things bad like that, how come you're still holding on in Britain? You don't believe, eh? Moses say. Listen, I will give you the name of a place. It's called Ipswich. They have a restaurant run by a Pole called the Rendezvous Restaurant. Go there and see if they will serve you. And you know the hurtful part of it? The Pole who have the restaurant, he ain't have no more right in this country than we. In fact, we is British subjects and he is only a foreigner. We have more right than any people from the damn continent to live and work in this country and enjoy what this country have. Because it is we who bleed to make this country prosperous. Well, look, Galahad said, we could stay here talking all day, but I better go and look for work. Where you have to go? The Employment Exchange by Edgware Road. You have a lot of company there. You shouldn't feel lonely. What work you used to do in the oil fields? Electrician. Well, you better tell them that, else I want to throw some hard work on you. Lift iron and heavy box or something. I did hear some fellas talking on the train when we was coming from Southampton about how you could go on a dole if you ain't working and how they intend to find out about it before they start to hustle. It have some fellas like that, Moses say. You want to be like that? Sir Galahad hesitate like if he thinking. Then he say, no, if I can't get electrician work, I will take something else for the time being. But you could refuse jobs, you know. Moses pressed the Galahad, wanted to find out what kind of fella he really is. And all the time the state will go on supporting you. By and by you will learn the ropes and how you could coast a long time without work. Galahad think about all the things that Moses tell him. Then he say, boy, I don't know about you, but I'm new in this country and I don't want to start answering on the state unless I have to. Me, I'm a born hustler. I wish it had plenty other fellas like you, Moses say, but a lot of parasites muddy the water for the boys, and these days when one spade do something wrong, they crying down the lot. So don't expect that they will treat you like anybody special. To them you will be just another one of them black Jamaicans who come into London thinking that the streets paved with gold. Something else I want to tell you, Galahad say. I know you mean well telling me all these things, but Papa, I want to find out for myself. So just tell me how to get to this place and I will go. You're not working today? I have a night work. You didn't work last night? I get the night off, but I have to go tonight. And anyway, I'm not leaving until late this evening. So you will meet me here when you come back. Now go down the road until you come to Westbourne Grove, and there any bus going up towards Paddington, you better ask somebody, will take you to the school. With that, Moses starts shining his shoes and Sir Galahad went out to try and get a work. Galahad made for the tube station when he left Moses and he stand there on Queensway watching everybody going about their business. And a feeling of loneliness and fright come on him all of a sudden. He forget all the brave words he was talking to Moses and he realised that here he is in London and he ain't have money or work or place to sleep or any friend or anything. And he's standing up here by the tube station watching people and everybody looks so busy he's frightened to ask questions from any of them. You think any of them bother him with what's going on in his mind or in anybody else's mind but their own? He see a test come and take a newspaper and put down the money on a box. Nobody there to watch the fella and yet he put the money down. What sort of thing is that? Galahad wonder. They're not afraid somebody thief the money? He bounced up against the woman coming out the station, but she passed him like a full trolley before he could say sorry. Everybody doing something or going somewhere, it's only he who walking stupid. On top of that, it's one of those winter mornings when a kind of fog hovering around. The sun shining, but Galahad never see the sun look like how it looking now. No heat from it. It just there in the sky like a force ripe orange. When he look up, the colour of the sky so desolate it make him more frightened. It have a kind of melancholy aspect about the morning that making him shiver. He have a feeling it's about 7 o'clock in the evening. When he look at a clock on top of a building, he see it's only 10:30 in the morning. By and by he drift down to Whiteley's. Suddenly he stand up and look back. He wondered if he could find his way back to Moses' room. Jesus Christ, suppose he get lost. He ain't even remember the name of the street where Moses live in. In the panic, he started to pack pocket to make sure he have money on him, and he began to search for passport and some other papers he had. A feeling come over him as if he lost everything he have, clothes, shoes, hat, and he started to touch himself here and there as if in a daze. Suddenly, Galahad feel a hand on his shoulder, and though he want to look and see who it is, it as if the hand paralyzed him and he can't move. He just stand up there and he hear a voice say, "Move along now, don't block the pavement." When he was able to look, Galahad see a policeman near him. Again he panicked. Though he ain't do anything against the law, still is so people just feel in Trinidad when police near them, as if even though they ain't commit a crime, the policeman will find something wrong that they do and want to lock them up. Galahad started to stammer. All the big talk left him now. "Can I help you get to some place?" the policeman say. "I'm looking for the employment exchange," Galahad say, looking around as if he expected to be near. "You have to catch a bus over there," the policeman say, pointing across the road. "The conductor will tell you where to get off." "Thanks," Galahad say. He went across the road quick and stand up by Queen's to catch himself. "You getting on like a damn fool," he tell himself. "What happened to you? All of a sudden like you're gone stupid. Take it easy," he say, unconsciously repeating Moses' advice. "You knew in this place it will take you some time to settle in." But the pep talk ain't do much help, and they're nearly dead with joy when they look up the road and see Moses coming. He start to whistle Monkey Eric like how fellas in the West Indies whistle when they see a friend and want to attract attention. Monkey Eric, Monkeyeeric. He start to whistle Monkey Eric like how fellas in the West Indies whistle when they see a friend and want to attract attention. But he didn't have to do that, for Moses was coming straight to him. "Moses," he say, "I'm too glad to see you, boy. If you don't mind, I want you to come with me." "I thought so," Moses say. "Boy, you're lucky I have soft heart, else you never see me again as long as you stay in London. You don't know that does happen. Fellas don't see one another for years here. Anyway, one thing is you must done with all this big talk." "Yes, yes," Galahad say, so relieved to see Moses that he putting his hands on his shoulders like they his old pals. "Come and catch a bus," Moses say, and they take Galahad to the bus queue. When the bus come, Galahad pushing in front of the other people, though Moses tried to hold him back, and the conductor say, "Here, you can't break the queue like that, mate," and Galahad had to stand And Galahad had to stand up and watch all the people who was there before him get on the bus, and the old lady look at him with a loud tone in her eye, and the girl tell a fella she was with, "They'll have to learn to do better, you know." "I tell you to take it easy," Moses say when they was in the bus. "You're not in Park Street waiting for a trolley." "Fares, please." "Two fours," Moses say, and they nudge Galahad. "Pay." Galahad handed the conductor £1 because he was not sure how much two fours is. When the conductor gone, Moses say, you could always tell when a test new in London. You could always tell when a test new in London. He always handing the conductor pound note or 10 shilling, because he ain't learned yet how to work out money in pounds, shillings and pence. "That was 4 pence," Galahad say to himself. "That is 4 pennies, and we pay 8. 8 twos are 16, allowed to Moses. That was 16 cents. "You sharp," Moses say. "Keep practicing." When they get to the building that marked Ministry of Labour, Galahad see it had a lot of notice box with glass window on the walls, with all kind of vacancies for instrument repairers and makers and turners and millers and operators of this and that. Sign like, "Gateway to a secure future, join the post office as a postman," hit him between the eyes, and a lot of others that encouraging you to join the army and the navy and the air force. "Like plenty job going," he tell Moses. "Like, let we go inside," Moses say. And when they was inside, with a lot of other tests sitting around, Moses told Galahad to go to the desk that mark inquiries and tell the clerk he want a job. The clerk take down some particulars and told Galahad to wait, that they would call him, and he went and sit down with Moses. After a while they called Galahad's name, and he went into a small cubicle where a test was sitting at a desk. "What a work can you do?" the clerk asked him. "Electrician," Galahad say. "Electrician," the clerk said to himself, and he looked through some papers. We haven't got anything for you at the moment. Will you go to the next building and register and get your insurance card, please? Moses take him round the block to the next building. When they enter, a kind of atmosphere hit Galahad so hard that he had to stand up against the wall for a minute. It ain't have no place in the world that exactly like a place where a lot of men get together to look for work and draw money from the welfare state while they ain't working. It's a kind of place where hate and disgust and avarice and malice and sympathy and sorrow and pity all mix up. It's a place where everyone is your enemy and your friend. Even when you go to draw a little national assistance, it don't be so bad, because when you reach that stage, it's because you touch bottom. But in the world today, a job is all the security a man can have. A job means place to sleep, food to eat, cigarette to smoke. And even though it have the welfare state in the background, and when a man out of work, he like a fish out of water gasping for breath. It have some men, if they lose their job, it like the world ain't. And when 2-3 weeks go by and they still ain't working, they get so desperate they will do anything. You see that fella there, Moses nod his head at an old English fella rolling a cigarette. He is one of the regulars. He does only draw dough. The last time I was here was last year, and he's still in the queue. Was a long room that Galahad see, shaped like a L, and they have a counter going all the way. And on this counter, it have files that are in immediate use. It have some folding chairs at the beginning and the ending of the L, where some tests sit down waiting like guilty criminals. Over the counter, it have numbers on placards, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. Over the counter, it also have a pipe what have the electric wires in it, and the clerks in them have pencils tie up on the pipe with long string dangling down to the counter for the boys to sign up with. Fellas stand up in little groups here and there, all of them looking destitute and poor me one. It had a folding blind, and 2 fellas was getting in the folds to keep warm. The floor dirty with footprint and cigarette butt. The walls had plenty notice hang up, asking you to join the forces and telling you what you must do to get pension and insurance and all that kind of thing. You see them papers they have on the counter, Moses told Galahad. One time in this office, they used to have plenty more, but one day a Jamaican fella come in and get ignorant and start to make R-A-B. Get ignorant and start to make rab. He'd tear up all the files and papers they had on the counter, and he'd make a snatch at one of the clerk behind. He'd bawling out and cursing and getting on like if he mad, and police had was to come and take him away. Since that time, the clerk's not taking any chances, and the only files they have on the counter now is those that they use in the same time. A few fellas call out to Moses, asking him what he doing in the school, if he on the dole. But Moses say no, he only showing a new test around. Now on all the records of the boys, you will see a mark on the top in red ink, J to A, COL dot. That mean you from Jamaica and you black. So that put the clerks in the know right away. You see, suppose a vacancy come and they want to send a fella. First they will find out if the firm want coloured fellas before they send you. That save a lot of time and bother, you see. In the beginning it caused a lot of trouble when fellas went saying that they come from the Labour office and the people send them away saying it ain't have no vacancy. They don't tell you outright that they don't want coloured fellas. They just say sorry, the vacancy get filled. But this office here ain't so bad. Some of the clerks, something, space, up, as in it says. Some of the clerks, hyphen, up. But on the whole, they treat you decent. And so between Moses and the Labour office, Galahad get fixed up. When they was outside and Galahad showing him the unemployment card, Moses say, keep that careful and don't go about the place making grand charge when you ain't have work. One time a fella was trying to impress some girls in a cafe, talking all kind of big talk and saying how he have a big work in a government service. Same time he put his hand in his pocket to take out something and the unemployment card drop out. You think I will get to work? Galahad asked. Sure. When you come back to report, tell them you will take anything for the time being. And now we better go and see the landlord about the room. I think that's a good place to stop. Yeah. Thanks for listening.